In this past year alone, we have seen an enormous rise in plant-based products designed to taste like meat. Burger King and a number of Omaha area restaurants have begun to sell the food, and grocery stores are beginning to carry the raw product. But there's been pushback from those in the meat industry, specifically on the way they're labeled. Reporter John Kipper tells us two proposed laws, one on the federal, the other on the state level, would try to curb these companies from labeling the food as if they are meat.
Food sits in the meat aisle, right next to the steak, ground beef, and all the other meat. But this stuff is different. It doesn't come from an animal, but it's designed to taste like it does.
Meat sells, and so they've got to make it look appetizing. People eat with their eyes.
If you read the labels, it's usually clear you're eating plant-based food, imitation meat. But some say you can easily be deceived.
I definitely see it kind of running into the market to where you're buying something at a fast food restaurant, or you're doing frozen meals or something, and all of a sudden it's in there and you're not knowing it, because I could see it being a cheap filler.
A law proposed by U.S. Senator from Nebraska Deb Fischer would clamp down on companies that don't label their food properly. The Real Meat Act would define what beef is, make producers label their product as being something other than meat, and allow the Department of Agriculture to enforce it instead of the FDA.
Make sure the consumers know that they are buying something that's plant-based, or when the lab-grown products hit the shelves, that is a lab-grown product.
Those in favor say they don't want what happened to the dairy industry to happen to the beef industry. The FDA has said companies should not label products milk unless it comes from an animal. That hasn't happened.
You've got soy milk, almond milk, oat milk. So all of those technically should say milk-like or imitation, according to existing law, but FDA has not enforced that.
On the state level, mislabeling food is banned right now, but the law proposed by State Senator Carol Blood would make it a violation of the Pure Food Act. So if consumers think the food is mislabeled, the issue could go to the courts. Impossible Foods, whose meat-flavored food is sold at Burger King and other Omaha restaurants, thinks it's too much. They say deceptive labeling is not an issue, but ultimately Congress, not states, should handle it.
How is a company supposed to produce 50 different packaging products in which they want to send them to all the states?
And even if the trend continues and you see more of food like this, Sean Fuller, who owns a butcher shop, isn't sweating it.
I'm not worried, because beef is too tasty.
In Omaha, John Kipper, 3 News Now.
The bill in the legislature was proposed last session, and Senator Blood tells us she thinks she has the votes to pass it.